Hello everyone, I'm Sergeant Pepper, and welcome to my first impressions video of Deadside. This is the video where I'm going to show you some of my gameplay and provide you with my thoughts and my experience with it so far. I happened to stumble across this game while digging through the Steam store. As soon as I saw it, it immediately caught my attention, and I decided I had to pick it up and give it a try. I've been really digging the survival genre recently, especially with games like Miscreated, and so I was excited to see how Deadside stacks up against this competition. I've already jumped into the server before, but for this video I'm going to get a fresh start on a new server. I found that there were plenty of servers to choose from, with the majority of them being fairly active throughout the day. You've got a couple of filters that can help narrow down the experience that you're looking for, whether you want to join an official or private server, or if you prefer to have first-person only perspective, third-person only, or if you don't really care and you don't mind having both. For this video, I'm going to join an official US West server. Deadside allows you to choose what you look like from a limited selection of preset models. I found this to be a welcome change, as there are plenty of survival games I've played that really don't give you much choice. Usually you're randomly assigned a character model, which is fine, but it's nice to be able to have some input. When you first spawn into the world, you'll find that you start out with a knife, tracksuit pants, and a lighter. The inventory system in the game is slot-based, and the tracksuit pants that you start out with only has 2 slots, which may not seem like a lot, but it's enough for you to pick up a pistol and some ammo that goes with it. The environments are good looking. They consist of Eastern European-inspired landscapes, dotted with tiny villages and military encampments. There is base building in the game, but currently all base structures are indestructible, so there is no base raiding of any kind at the moment. This is a feature that is planned to be included in the future. One observation that I've made is that the game rarely spawns you out in the middle of nowhere. You'll typically find yourself dropped in next to a point of interest of some kind, or a building. It's a good idea to check the map to see where you're at, and to find the nearest location, so you can start looting. The map is kind of small, covering an area of 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers, so there's a decent chance that there may already be another player looting in the area. I found that this made looting a more engaging activity, as it kept me on my toes. Luckily, I found that the game is fairly generous with low-tier loot, so you won't have to look too far to get a starter weapon. Ammo is also plentiful, so I didn't find myself having to be stingy with bullets. If you have the ability to play with headphones on, I definitely recommend that you do so. You'll want to be able to hear the footsteps of other players that could be in your area. I wasn't wearing my headset at this point, so this player caught me off guard. The game features PvP heavily, and I found that encounters with other players are often quick and intense. Most players have already adopted a kill-on-sight policy, so take care if you see someone in the area. The guns are quite satisfying to shoot and pack a decent punch. Even the low-tier weapons can drop an opponent with a few well-placed shots. While you find most of your gear in houses, sometimes the fastest way to get geared up is to take out someone who's already collected it for you. Enemy players aren't the only threat that you'll have to face in Deadside. You'll often run into enemy AI that's hostile and will attack you on sight. They'll spawn in with randomized gear, sometimes with a knife, other times with full military weapons and gear. They're a great source of loot, but take care, as I found that their aim can be very aimbot-like, and they can take you down just as quickly as another player. Now that I've talked a lot about the game mechanics, I think it's time to talk about the bugs. Surprisingly, I haven't run into too many issues on my own, but I've heard reports that there's poor hit registration, as well as poor performance when the population is high on the server. Deadside does have a couple of rough edges, such as the character's shadow being rendered as a blurry blob. It doesn't really detract from the overall immersion, but it does show that the devs could add a little bit of polish. There are 2 safe zones, one at the top of the map and one at the bottom. The perimeter of these safe zones are marked by red flags, and once you cross the perimeter, you'll become invulnerable to attack. Inside of the safe zone, you'll find 2 traders. This is where you can buy, sell, or store gear that you've collected so far.
Здорово, убийца!
Now that I've shown you some gameplay and shared my thoughts, it's time to answer the question: is this game worth the price of admission? I can tell you that I really enjoyed the game up to this point. The combat is fast and intense, the map is fun to explore, and the encounters with the AI keeps things interesting when server population is low. However, the biggest drawback that I see is that currently there is a lack of content. This is mostly due to the fact that the majority of the game's existing mechanics haven't been fully fleshed out. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as the content that's already there is good, but it's worth keeping in mind that the game is still in its early access infancy. That being said, I see there being a lot of potential in this game. I definitely don't regret picking up Deadside. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. If you found this impression video to be helpful, please let us know by clicking the like button. And don't forget to hit subscribe to keep up to date on our latest Deadside content.